Storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs. The work is done, the supplement is filed, and now it sits on a reviewer's desk. They can't tell which photo proves which line item, so the whole thing gets kicked back. 3 to 5 days gone per round trip. By the end of this, you'll know how to build a photo packet a reviewer can trace in 5 minutes per item. Volume is not proof. Traceability is. Start with what a supplement is. It's a request to revise an estimate after the original scope missed something. The adjuster wrote a repair where code wants a tear-off. The decking was rotted, unseen until the old roof came off. The packet is the evidence file behind that request. And here is the tone that decides everything. It's a documentation file, not a demand letter. It reads like a careful contractor showing their work. That distinction is also the legal line. Build the packet in the same order every time. Cover sheet first, address, claim number, dates, contact. Then a summary of request, the line items, and a one-line reason each. Then weather context, a safety note, orientation photos, the slope log, the photo groups, measurements, and a traceability index. The order keeps a review from turning into archaeology. A reviewer who sees the same shape every time learns to trust it and moves faster. Now the part where most packets break. Nobody can find the photo on the building. The fix is a slope-by-slope log. A slope is one face of the roof. Name every face, record how you reached it, and list the photo IDs that belong to it. South front, walked. West face, ladder only. North rear, ground only. If your aerial report calls a face S3 and your estimate calls it the west slope, add a one-line crosswalk. It saves a phone call. Name the files so they describe themselves. Put the packet order, the roof face, the component, the view type, and the date right in the file name. That file survives being exported, emailed, and renamed, and still tells you what it is. Now the trap. Never name a file in a way that argues the case. Hail hit proof or must pay wind reads as a contractor pre-deciding coverage. The file name says what the photo shows, not what the policy owes. Shoot every condition at 3 distances. Wide, the whole roof face, so the reviewer sees the plane and direction. Mid, a section that shows the pattern of marks. Close, the single condition with a scale reference, a coin, or a chalk circle. A close-up with no orientation is weak. An overview with no close-ups is weak. Borrow the inspector's discipline. Chalk a test square. A 10-foot patch. Shoot it wide, then shoot the marked hits inside it close. Know what hail actually does, because it changes what your close-up shows. The damage is not always the dramatic golf ball crater a homeowner expects. The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety fires lab-made hailstones at real shingles and rates them on dents, tears, and granule loss. A 2025 study found many small, sub-severe hits can scour off more granules than 1 2-inch stone. So the real condition is sometimes a field of small bruises. Photograph the pattern and keep old wear out of the same frame. Wind documentation needs sequence and location even more than hail. The evidence is what moved and what got exposed underneath. Capture the missing tab with a roof face overview so the gap has an address. Capture the lifted or creased shingle with the broken seal line and frame. And there is a real standard behind it. Asphalt shingles are classified for wind under ASTM D7158 or D3161, the test that rates wind resistance. Naming the standard reads as informed. The wind obviously did this reads as a guess. Weather context belongs in the packet, and it earns its place by giving date and area context. Pull the NOAA Storm Events database. It records hail, thunderstorm wind, and high wind by date, county, event type, and magnitude from National Weather Service data going back to 1950. Use it to establish that severe weather of the relevant type hit that county near the storm date. Then stop. Write it as NOAA lists a hail event in the county on that date, not NOAA proves this roof was hit. A missing photo is sometimes the right call, not a gap. If a slope is wet, steep, brittle, obstructed, or near a power line, you don't walk it. OSHA's storm work guidance catalogs those hazards and says storm roofs need trained crews, the right gear, and a job-specific plan. So the packet carries a safety and access note, how each face was reached, which areas were unsafe, and which photos were skipped, and why. A documented limitation is stronger than a close-up taken by someone who shouldn't be up there. Here is the line, and it is the part that ends companies, so read it twice. In most states, a roofer may document conditions and write an estimate. A roofer may not act as the homeowner's public adjuster on a claim for a property they're also paid to repair. In 2024, the Texas Supreme Court upheld that line against a roofer whose contract let it negotiate the claim with the carrier. So document, don't diagnose the claim. Never offer to waive the deductible. That is fraud in many states. The insurer decides coverage. Protect the photo itself because the metadata is evidence. The EXIF data inside a photo carries the original timestamp and often the GPS location, and a reviewer treats unmodified metadata as a sign the file is intact. Chat apps and screenshots strip that data, so move originals by direct upload or original file email, not by texting them around. Crop for privacy if you need to. Never alter a timestamp or change what a photo shows. That is deceptive conduct the Federal Trade Commission treats as actionable. Now the page that turns a folder of photos into a supplement file. The traceability index. Every requested item gets one row. That row points to a location, the photo IDs, a measurement source, the weather file, and a factual note. If a row is missing a piece, the item is not ready to send. It makes the supplement easy to follow line by line, and it exposes your own weak rows before they ship. It is your go, no-go gate. Run a QA pass by someone who never touched the roof. The person who shot it is the worst person to check it, because they remember context that is not in the file. Fresh eyes catch unlabeled photos, missing orientation, stripped metadata, and notes that drifted into coverage language. Hand them the index and make them open each cited photo. Does it match the note? Does the measurement hold the quantity? Does the note stay factual? Anything that fails gets held. A held item costs nothing. A kickback item costs a cycle. Here is where Roof Predict fits, and where it doesn't. It works the same chain of evidence discipline, just earlier, before a claim exists. It keeps a per-home record, an estimated roof age range, prior visit history, and storm date context tied to the individual address, so you know which roofs the storm likely wore out before anyone climbs a ladder. It does not inspect the roof, diagnose damage, certify remaining life, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range for planning, not an exact date. The packet does the rest. Close the loop. A supplement is a documentation file, not a demand letter. Build the same order every time. Name every roof face and crosswalk the report. Shoot wide, mid, and close on every condition. Use weather for date and area only. Document the access limits as evidence. Keep the metadata intact. One row per item on the index, and a QA pass by fresh eyes. Document, don't diagnose. A file that decides nothing and documents everything is the one a reviewer trusts.